guys, I'm here to answer the questions you asked me. I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can, so let's get started. Which YouTube channels do you watch? The biggest channels that most of you might recognize that I do follow are Lucy Eads, Candid Mommy, The Daily Bumps and the Bumps Along the Way, Laura and Layton, Kyle and Court, Gabe and Jess, and Wannabe Mommy to Be. How long have you been with your husband and how did y'all meet? This fall and winter, Kyle and I have been together for 10 years and married 6. A little backstory, his sister is my age, so we grew up going to school together and we were pretty good friends. I used to hang out at her house a lot, and I remember seeing Kyle, come and go. So I always knew who he was. I thought he was really cute, her hot older brother. So fast forward to 2003, I was working at CVS, which at the time was Eckerd. He came in. I of course recognized who he was, but I don't know if we'd ever had a conversation at that point. And he looked at me and said, "Do you guys sell 4-slotted toasters?" And I laughed and no, I don't think we sell 4-slotted toasters. And then at the time I was taking guitar lessons, and I mentioned that to him, and I told him how expensive it was, and it was 30-minute lessons, and we spent a good 5-10 minutes tuning my guitar. And he was like, "I'll give you lessons for free, don't pay that anymore. Here's my number." And so, I'm thinking, yeah, that's never gonna happen. But I think he called me like 3 days later. So at the time I was 16 and he was 19. So I was in my junior year of high school and he was in community college. And so that was, like I said, fall of 2003. Started hanging out. He gave me guitar lessons, and as like the weeks went on and we got more into like November, December 2003, we started playing guitar less and just hanging out more. And February, Valentine's Day of 2004, he officially asked me to be his girlfriend, and yeah, we have been together ever since. I'm definitely curious about your feelings on your home birth and not finding out the gender. Was it worth it? Would you do it differently if you had the chance? Was your home birth everything you expected? And how did you stay so calm? I would not change a single thing about deciding to have a home birth and not finding out the gender. It was an incredible experience. The anticipation of waiting 9 months was incredible, to look down, find out what you're having, and be able to hold them at the exact same minute. My home birth was amazing, and I feel so lucky that there was no complications, and it was just a beautiful day with my mom there and my sister-in-law and the birth photographer to capture it. I stayed so calm by going inwards and just going into a trance, losing myself. And I just pictured myself laying on the beach in Hawaii and I heard, the birds and the water, and I was just gone. So, there was no pain, honestly. It was just tons of pressure, but very doable. Was it harder going from 1 to 2 kids or 2 to 3 kids? Right now, I would say probably going from 2 to 3 kids, but honestly, I think the only reason is because of breastfeeding and because I am getting up so often, and no matter how many times she wakes up, I still have 2 little boys rearing to go at about 6:45 in the morning, so that's made it pretty difficult. How is having 3 kids, and what is your schedule like? Have you ever thought of doing a day in life video? Having 3 kids is busy. We are go, 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 go. Usually never a dull moment. And our schedule is usually pretty busy. I like to pack my days. Usually one thing every day, whether it's a park or we have swimming lessons or lunch with a friend. I've thought about doing a day in life video. I just don't know how many people would be interested or watch when I think about all the effort it takes to film all day and then edit it and all that. Do you want more kids? We are definitely done. Riley was definitely our last baby. But I will say that just because of who I am, I'm so into pregnancy and labor and delivery and babies. I think there'll always, always, always be a small part of me that will feel envious when I see people announce their pregnancies or that first hospital shot or home birth shot. But we are definitely complete. How did you know you wanted to have kids? I love the idea of having some of my own, but the whole idea terrifies me. I'm afraid of such a huge commitment. I know it sounds crazy, but I knew at 18 that I wanted to have a baby so bad, and it wasn't long after that I had one, because I got pregnant with Tyler when I was 19. I had him when I was 20. I would just say that I feel like, when you find that right person, I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with Kyle, and as corny as it sounds, I knew he was my soulmate. And yeah, and I could see how it could be terrifying and a huge commitment. It is. Sometimes I definitely get overwhelmed thinking that I am responsible for these 3 little human beings, and their nutrition and their knowledge, and but unless you have kids, you just can't fully understand the love for these little creatures that you made. It's absolutely amazing and can't really explain to somebody. How different is it having a girl after 2 boys? Is she doing things faster than your boys? How have the boys adjusted? It's been really fun having a girl after 2 boys. I can't leave Target or Old Navy without buying a cute little dress. She's doing things about the same as the boys did, and the boys have adjusted beautifully. Couldn't ask for better big brothers for her. How has starting solids been this time around since you've been exclusively breastfeeding? Are you doing purees, jarred, or soft table food? It has been awesome doing solids this time around because I am exclusively breastfeeding. There's no pressure at all. All her nutritional needs are met through my breast milk, so everything else is for fun. It's food before one is just for fun, and there's just no pressure. It's just, when I feel like giving her some food, I do, and yeah, just no pressure. In the beginning, we were doing baby-led weaning. I love it. It is very time-consuming, though, very messy, so we have incorporated more purees. We still do the baby-led weaning. Is your husband going to make a career out of the military, and do you think you'll have to move again in the next few years? We're not sure at this time if he'll make a career out of it. He has a couple classes left and he'll have his master's degree, so the option is there for us one day to not be in the military and possibly, for him to have a good career. We don't know. We have a couple of years till we have to make that decision, so we'll see then. We'll definitely have to move in a couple of years. That's life in the military. I would say that you're usually at one place from 3 to 5 years, if I had to guess. So we've been here 1 year already, so a couple of years, then it's time to go somewhere else. Will you try to stay in one spot once the kids are in school? Do you guys enjoy moving and seeing new places? Again, you can't, as far as I know, you can't really just say you want to stay at one spot and just stay there. When it's your time to go somewhere else, you get your orders and you pick up and go. I do enjoy moving around and seeing new places. It's a great adventure, and I definitely have hard times every time we move. But I try to tell myself that, these are places that I would have never explored if it wasn't for the military, like us living in Germany and going to Paris twice, going to Italy and Ireland. I would never have been out of the country if it wasn't for the Air Force. I'm so appreciative for that. You're very into a very natural lifestyle, which I think is wonderful, but what is your take on leaving your children's healthy body natural, meaning forced piercings and circumcisions for cosmetic or non-emergency reasons? I will say this, if you would have asked me about 7 months ago, I really didn't feel too strongly about it. I probably would have given you a very typical American answer about it. But as the months have gone on, and I'm friends with people who are anti-circumcision and piercing, I've definitely learned more. I understand the perspective, so much to the point that we have decided not to pierce Riley's ears. I'm going to wait until she's old enough to make the decision, and that was a big surprise to me, because my entire life I knew if I ever had a baby girl, I'd pierce her ears as early as they'd let you. Even 7 months ago, I thought, if I have a girl, I'm piercing her ears, and I can't wait. But like I said, I'm definitely understanding why people choose not to, and I look forward to her understanding and making the decision all on her own. My best friend is going to be a daddy in a few months' time, and he wonders how he can help his girlfriend during delivery. So I wondered whether you could tell me how your hubby helped you, what he said, what he didn't say, or how a man can really support the women when giving birth. I would say that all women are really different, I can assume, during labor. Kyle's been so great during all of my deliveries. I would just say, if you don't mind being talked to, that words of affirmation are wonderful. You can do it. You're strong. This isn't going to last forever. You're going to meet your baby soon. I know those things really helped me. Does your little one sleep in her crib or with you? How did you transition? Any tips? I really wanted to try co-sleeping with Riley. I'm not sure if my husband would have let me, honestly. And I did co-sleep with her actually for the first couple weeks when I was sleeping in her nursery, when I was, working on establishing breastfeeding and doing like skin-to-skin and bonding. But what I found out for me is I just can't do it. I cannot sleep near my children. I never get into a deep sleep. Every little sound they make, my body kind of jumps out of its skin and I wake up. I had terrible sleep those first couple weeks, and then when I decided to put her in a room and I went back and slept in my bed, even though with breastfeeding I wake up fairly often, at least the times that I am sleeping, I get into a nice deep sleep. Did you do anything to help you produce more milk? How did you succeed at breastfeeding? I have not done anything to help me produce more milk. I just make sure I'm drinking plenty of water. I believe there's things that you can take, such as fenugreek and mother's milk. And I guess there's said foods that help increase your milk supply, like oatmeal and brewer's yeast. And just as far as succeeding at breastfeeding, I would just say knowledge and determination and support. You've got to be good in all three of those areas. Don't go into it saying, I'm going to try to breastfeed, because that's what I did with my first two boys. And with this baby, I was not going to try. I was going to breastfeed. And it sucked for 3 months, not the 4 weeks. It sucked for 12 weeks. But I was not going to give up. And now, 7 months later, I'm so glad I didn't. My daughter is 2 months. She breastfeeds all day, but she sleeps a lot. At night, she sleeps straight from 11 to 5 the next morning. That is good. I'm not complaining on that, but during the day, she eats every 3 or 4 hours, but I feel like that's too little. I feel a difference between my son and her. My son used to eat every 2 hours and sleep less. I know every baby is different. Is that okay? Is Riley the same? Does she sleep a lot? Do you feel like she eats less than your previous boys? It's hard to compare Riley to my boys because they were formula fed and pretty much on a schedule. I think I fed them a bottle every 3 to 4 hours. Riley nurses quite often and doesn't sleep a whole lot, so she's different than your baby. Riley nurses about every hour, and I can get her to take 2 to 3 naps a day. Sometimes they're 30 minutes, sometimes they're 45 minutes. But you said it perfectly in the question. Every baby's different. I would say the only way to determine the input is the output. Wet diapers. If your baby's happy and content and gaining weight and lots of wet diapers, then I would not worry. Just trust your body, trust your baby, follow their lead, and just feed them on demand. And then I got a lot of, in general, talk about anything home birth. I would say as long as you're healthy and you have a non-complicated pregnancy, I think home birth is a great option. I felt very safe. I know people laugh at that. I felt very safe in the comfort of my house. I trusted my midwife. I knew that she was watching me so closely. They listened to fetal heart rate quite often. And I think people, have this idea that midwives just show up at your house with gloves and, all right, let's have a baby. And I think you would be surprised at everything they can do. I think, as far as I know, I think the only thing they can't do is a cesarean. She had Pitocin. She had medicine to stop my contractions if we needed to transfer to a hospital. She had homeopathics. There was an oxygen tank right next to the tub when I was delivering. She had bags and bags of stuff. And I wouldn't take that experience back for anything. I feel so wonderful to have experienced that. And I love supporting people in their decision to have home birth. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.